Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we try to make sense of the money world without making your head spin. Today we're diving into NOVAVAX's latest update, and let me tell you, it's got some interesting news about their COVID-19 vaccine that could change how we see the company moving forward. So buckle up as we decode this filing, and hey, before we jump in, if you love getting straight answers from these corporate filings, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. And for more real-time discussions and insights, check out our Discord community linked in the description below. So what's the big news from NOVAVAX? Well, they've just announced a significant approval from the US Food and Drug Administration, or FDA. This isn't just any approval, though. It's for their NOVAVAX vaccine, specifically the formula for the 2025-2026 season. The report is dated August 27, 2025. Now, the FDA has approved this vaccine for a couple of key groups. First up, it's for adults who are 65 years and older, pretty standard. But it also includes individuals between 12 and 64 years of age who have at least one underlying health condition that puts them at higher risk for serious outcomes from COVID-19. This broadens the reach and potential impact of their vaccine. But here's another crucial bit of information. The FDA has also given the thumbs up to extend the shelf life of this vaccine. It's going from 3 months to a full 6 months. Now, why is this a big deal? Think about distribution and supply. A longer shelf life means less waste and more flexibility in getting the vaccine to people who need it without it expiring. This could streamline their operations considerably and make their vaccine more attractive. To potential buyers and distributors, it's like getting double the time to use a product, which in the world of perishable medical supplies is a major win. Now, every big approval comes with conditions, right? The FDA is asking NOVAVAX for 2 follow-up studies. These are called post-marketing commitments, or PMCs. The first one involves a phase 3 study, which is a large-scale trial to check the safety and how well the vaccine sparks an immune response. The second is a phase 4 study, which is a more advanced trial designed to see if there are any long-term effects after vaccination, particularly focusing on something called post-COVID vaccination syndrome. This shows the FDA is being thorough, ensuring the vaccine's ongoing safety and effectiveness after it's already out in the public. You'll see a lot of checkboxes in these filings detailing how this report might relate to other types of communications, like marketing materials or soliciting investor interest. For this particular report, though, the main focus is on the FDA approval and the press release announcing it. For those keeping track of NOVAVAX on the stock market, you'll know their common stock trades under the symbol NVAX on the Nasdaq Global Select Market. This approval definitely injects some positive news into their stock situation. Under the section detailing Regulation FD information, which basically ensures that any material information released to the public is made available to everyone. NOVAVAX is stating that this report is mainly to announce the information that's discussed in another part called Item 8.01, which is where we find the juicy details about the FDA approval, and it's being accompanied by their press release dated August 27, 2025. This is standard practice to make sure all the official announcements align and are properly documented. Now, every single report like this has a very important section called Cautionary Note regarding forward-looking statements. This is where the company basically says, hey, we're talking about the future here, things like our plans, expectations, and potential outcomes. And these things are not guaranteed. They are based on our current beliefs and what we think might happen. Words like believe, may, could, will, would, possible, can, estimate, continue, ongoing, consider, anticipate, intend, seek, plan, project, expect, should, would, aim, or assume are all signals that the company is not stating facts about the future, but rather expressing hopes and projections. This section then goes on to detail a whole list of things that could go wrong and prevent these future plans from happening. For NOVAVAX, this includes potential challenges or delays in completing those post-marketing studies we just talked about, or even getting further approval for their COVID-19 vaccine. They also mention things like changes in the virus itself, the SARS-CoV-2 spike protein. They also highlight difficulties in getting something called scarce raw materials and supplies. And then there are resource constraints like not having enough people or manufacturing capacity to follow through on their regulatory plans. Plus, they're worried about delays in getting approval for a vaccine that targets a new variant called JN or any future variants. Manufacturing, distribution, and export delays are also on their radar. They even mention their sole reliance on a partner called Serum Institute of India Vitae Limited for something called co-formulation and filling, and how any disruption there could impact their ability to deliver orders. It's a classic reminder that even with good news, there's always a mountain of potential obstacles. And finally, in the exhibit section, they list, of course, the press release from August 27, 2025 as Exhibit 99.1. 1, and also the cover page interactive data file, which is a bit technical. But basically, it's a way to make the report easier for computers to read and process a ductor file, which is a bit technical, but basically it's a way to make the report easier for computers to read and process duct-leaked whiteake. This FDA approval for the 2025-2026 Nuvaxovid formula is a definite positive for Novavax. Extending the shelf life to 6 months is particularly smart, reducing logistical headaches and waste, which is crucial for any company in the vaccine business. It makes their product more competitive and easier to manage from production to administration. However, we can't ignore that cautionary note. The need for 2 significant post-marketing studies indicates that health authorities are still observing the vaccine's performance closely. The risks listed are also substantial. Dependence on partners like the Serum Institute of India for critical manufacturing steps introduces a potential vulnerability. If their partner faces disruptions, Novavax's ability to supply the market could be severely impacted. The company's future success hinges not only on regulatory wins, but also on navigating these operational and supply chain challenges effectively. They are in a highly competitive market, and staying ahead requires not just innovation but also robust and reliable execution. The market will be watching how they manage these post-marketing commitments and the overall logistical aspects of their vaccine rollout given the evolving nature of COVID-19 and its variants. So what's your take on this FDA approval for Novavax? Do you think the extended shelf life is a game changer? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, please give this video a like. It really helps us out. And of course, subscribe for more corporate deep dives. You can also join our Discord community for more discussions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.